6 boats up in the front line with the Kellogg's the trailer. American Spirit will be in lane number 1 with Mark Evans. Lane 2, Chip Hanauer in the Miss Budweiser. Lane 3, Winston Eagle with Mark Tate. Lane 4, the Tide with Nate Brown. Lane 5 will be the Miss T Plus with Steve David. And on the far outside, it'll be Cooper's Express with Mitch Evans. And the trailing boat, back about 15 seconds, will be the Kellogg's, driven by Mike Hanson.
That's a tough place to start a race like this, but at least he's in it. Look at this sight. 6 boats coming down side by side. A great shot as we take the green flag. We're underway. Miss T Plus trying to get out in front. Stephen David out of lane number 5. He's driving hard. He's got a lead on the field right now. Miss Budweiser trying to come up in lane number 2. Lane 3 is the Winston Eagle. That's from the right side of your screen. And it looks like T Plus may have come inside too far. They've got to hold their lanes through the turn. It looks like T Plus came in too tight. We'll have to wait and see if there's a referee penalty on that. Meanwhile, as they come down the backstretch, T Plus is your leader.
Oh, he gets a little loose also there, Dick. He squeezed off the Tide. The referees are now deciding that it's going to be a lane encroachment on the T Plus, and they're now saying not a 1-lap penalty. They have disqualified him. Disqualified him because there's been a repeat penalty from other races.
So the T Plus boat, Stephen David, has been disqualified. No longer the leader in this race. Miss Budweiser taking over that spot. T Plus is still up on the course, but it looks like he lost his engine.
He just blew it as the Budweiser blew past him. He blew the engine of the T Plus, so penalty or not, it makes no difference at this point.
Miss T Plus goes down in the water. Miss Budweiser is out in the lead. Chip Hanauer takes the lead away from the T Plus. T Plus had been penalized anyway, but he earned it. He got right by him and now has the lead. Second place appears to be the American Spirit and the Tide boat battling. Tide has now taken second on the far outside.
Wrong. The Budweiser has been penalized. Another 1 lap for a lane encroachment on the Winston Eagle. Your leader is this boat, the Tide.
Oh, my goodness. They are going to be celebrating down there. They've got the air scoop open on that boat. You'll remember in the heat earlier, the air scoop was jammed shut. They couldn't get air into the engine, but the Tide boat, you can see through the tunnel now. He's got everything open, and he has got his foot in it as Nate Brown now is the official leader on the course. The Miss Budweiser sets about trying to make up a lap, and Winston Eagle has the best seat in the house right in the center of the course.
He took some water, and of course it crystallized, and look at the American Spirit is going down. The attrition rate is picking up. Let's set it for you. The Tide is the first place. Second place is Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. What a comeback as we look at the disabled Winston Eagle. Boats are going around him. They see him, but what a chain of events. The Kellogg's Frosted Flakes to take second today.
Oh, that is amazing. We had just commented how that's a tough place to start, some 15 seconds behind the rest of the field, but Mike Hanson is charging hard. As a matter of fact, it looks like he's closing that gap a little bit. Nate Brown is going to be watching in the rearview mirror. I know that he knows by radio that Mike Hanson and the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes is closing him down a little bit. They'll try for more power. Meanwhile, back in third place on the official scorecard, it is Mitch Evans in the Cooper's Express, and they're going to be happy if they can get a third place, but they've got to be aware that behind them, riding in fourth and charging hard, is the Miss Budweiser trying to make up that lap. And look at this, the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes on the inside of the Tide, and it looks, Jim, like the Tide has developed some kind of a problem.
And we have the fourth leader of this race with 2 more laps to go, less than 2. The Kellogg's Frosted Flakes is the leader of the pack.
Well, he's liable to write his name into a history book here if he continues to run in first place and takes the checkered flag for the win. That would be the first time ever in unlimited hydroplane racing history that a boat has gone from the trailer position in the final championship heat to win the championship crown. But right now, the boat that is coming right at you on your screen, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, with that wild, wild paint job the kids love and all the adults love. That's the boat that is in the lead. It is from Madison, Indiana. It is the Miss Madison Kellogg's Frosted Flakes boat, owned by some 13,000 residents of the city.
Now Miss Budweiser in fourth place because of a 1-lap penalty. Now goes into third place as he passes Cooper's Express. And here's the Tide in second place, going a lot slower after he had a problem. And guess who's going to move into second place? It's going to be the Miss Budweiser in second now.
So the battle is set. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes is about a half a lap ahead with 1 lap to go. Miss Budweiser in second place. Mike Hanson, I'm sure, is aware now that he's got a real tiger by the tail. Not only his boat, but if he looks behind it about a half a lap, he's going to see the Miss Budweiser is going to try to make a charge. I don't think he's going to have time enough to do it. Mike Hanson may set a little bit of history on a tier here by being the first boat to ever take a win from that trailer position. And what an exciting moment. What a terrific win for this crew. This would be the first time since 1983.
Whoa, 10 years, and the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, representing Madison, Indiana, is the winner.
What a celebration at the dock. Boy, they can't believe it. A lot of pinching, a lot of hugging. They're trying to understand that it happened. There's the T+, disqualified from the race, but did lead for a short time. Another casualty in the race, Mark Tate in the Winston Eagle, Mark Evans in Vaughn's American Spirit. Everybody in the final heat just pushing it out, and there's a victory hug. Carol and Bob Hughes, we celebrated their anniversary in Seattle, and we'll come back to help celebrate their victory with Mike Hanson right after this word.
Back here in San Diego on Mission Bay, that final heat looked like a demolition derby. Lots of boats that had suffered damage, like look at here, the Winston Eagle. A lot of water damage on that vertical fin in the tail section. And a big hug from Dad goes to the winner, driver of the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, Mike Hanson. Overall second went to the Miss Budweiser, third to Cooper's Express, fourth to the Tide, with the American Spirit and T+ not finishing. Let's go down to the winning dock. Dick?
Mike, I got to tell you, this is the first time in unlimited racing history a boat has come from trailer to take first place.
Well, we've not used to hard luck. We've gone all year long, finished all our heats, and we had to sit 2 heats on the trailer today due to a broken part we couldn't get fixed in time, and the good Lord decided that we needed another break and put us in the final, and we happened to pull it out. I don't know what happened to everybody else. There was a lot of salt flying out there, and I just tried to drive around all the parked boats.
You've got to realize this is some day for Madison, Indiana. You took it up in first place, which is huge. You know, Cooper's came in third, which is pretty big. Madison kind of sewed it up here in San Diego.
Oh, yeah. We've been real close a number of times. The boat's been extremely fast. The Kellogg's boat has all year long and consistent. And the whole crew deserves this. They worked their tail off today to fix this thing, and it was a real project to get it done. And then we put in the last chance, won that, and we only had 20 minutes to get back in the water, and oh man, they pulled it off. They did the job. I just drove it around today.
Bob, you heard us describing this thing as it was happening up there. You knew about the penalties. You knew where the boat was the entire time.
I stand up here watching that, and I couldn't believe any of it.
I still don't.
I was about to come to tears, and my wife told me after it was all over, I found one 4-leaf clover in my entire lifetime, and that was the middle of this summer. She's been carrying it around with her all year and finally gave it to him today, just before this final heat.
I think we better get him hunting some more 4-leaf clovers.
It's right here.
Yeah, great.